First part, some preliminary definition and notation. I will recall to you some knowledge that we haven't learned before. So, risk-free assets. Risk-free assets in which the level of return, the return that the assets brings can be calculated in advance. And in addition, that assets had no credit risk. For example, treasury bonds, government bonds. The utility curve of an investor indicates the investment combination they are willing to accept between risk and return. The utility curve tension to the efficient frontier. The utility curve determines the most suitable portfolio for investor on the efficient frontier. About the optimal portfolio, the optimal portfolio is the portfolio on the efficient frontier that has the highest utility to the investor. And here is the equation of the utility. Utility called the expected return minus lambda multiplied var. And the lambda here is the slope level of caution of investor. Lambda multiplied var is the cost of return. And lambda equals 0, it means that the investors, regardless of risk, and suppose that there's n risky assets, each of which has expected return. The metric expected return is the column vector of expected return of the assets in here. And S is n covariance metric. A portfolio of risky assets is a column vector X whose coordinates sum to 1. You can see it here. And each coordinate xi represents the proportion of the portfolio invested in risky assets I. The expected portfolio return ERX of a portfolio X is given by the product of X and R. You can see the function here. And the variance of portfolio X return and var X is equivalent to standard deviation XX is given by the product here. And the covariance between the return of two portfolio X and Y, covariance of Rx and Ry is defined by the product here. And note that the standard deviation of xy equal the standard deviation of yx. And I will recall you the efficient portfolio and envelope portfolio. The efficient portfolio is the portfolio that has the highest expected return among all portfolio with the same variance. An efficient portfolio maximizes expected return for a given risk, and the set of all efficient portfolio is called the efficient frontier of the assets A1 to AN. And envelope portfolio is the portfolio has the lowest variance among all portfolio with the same expected return. An envelope portfolio minimizes risk for a given targeted return. And the set of all envelope portfolio is called the envelope of the assets A1 to AN and is denoted NEA1AN. A feasible portfolio is any portfolio whose proportion sum to 1, and the feasible set is the set of portfolio means and standard deviation guaranteed by the feasible portfolio. A feasible portfolio is on the envelope of a feasible set. If for a given mean return it has minimum variance, you can see in the picture here, the area in the right side is the feasible area, and the curve, the whole curve is the envelope, and from the minimum var to upward is the efficient. And you can see two portfolios in the feasible area, but they are not in the line of efficient and envelope. They are feasible but not efficient. We move to the second path. Find proposition on efficient portfolio and the CAPM. The proposition 1. Let C be a constant, and we use the notation ER minus C to denote the following column. And let the vector Z show the system of simultaneous linear equation ER minus C equal SZ. So then this solution produces a portfolio X on the envelope of the feasible set in the following manner. You can see Z equal the S of minus 1 multiplied by R minus ER minus C, and X is the S1 to Xn. And the proposition states that envelope portfolio, in particular, are efficient portfolio, as a result of the procedure outlined in the proposition. That is, if X is any envelope portfolio, then there exists a constant C and a vector Z. The proposition 2 state that with any two efficient portfolio, we can build R the efficient portfolio. And given any two envelope portfolio, X equal S1 to Xn and Y equal Y1 to Yn are the envelope portfolio, a convex combination of X and Y. And this means that given any constant A, the portfolio here is an envelope portfolio. The proposition 3 states that if Y is any envelope portfolio, then for any other portfolio, envelope or not X, we have the relationship expected return of Rs equals C plus the beta X multiply expected return of Y minus C, and C is the expected return of R portfolio Z whose covariance with Y is 0. The proposition 4 states that if there are risk-free assets with a rate of return Rf, then there exists an efficient portfolio M such that expected return Rx equal the risk-free rate plus the beta x multiply expected return of M minus the risk-free rate, and M is a portfolio of our risky assets in the economy, with the investment ratio in each asset calculated by their value related to the total value of the portfolio. And the proposition 5 say that assume there is one portfolio Y and one portfolio X with the following relationship. So then the portfolio Y will be the efficient portfolio. Next, we will take a look in the calculating the efficient frontier and calculating the envelope. Suppose we let B be a portfolio that has proportion invested in portfolio X and proportion 1 minus A invested in Y. Then, as discussed in the chapter 8, the mean and standard deviation of these return. Here you can see expected return equal A multiplied by expected return X plus 1 minus A multiplied the expected return of RY. and the standard deviation of portfolio. And finding the efficient portfolio in one step, the proposition 1 is expressed for the enveloped portfolio, and we will use the list function to solve later in Excel. And next, the three notes on the optimization procedure. Note number 1, all rows lead to run. It is say that envelope is determined by any two seeds. And note number 2, some value of seeds locate non-efficient envelope portfolios. And note number 3, the portfolio associated with C equal RF is optimal. Next, we will move to the finding the market portfolio, the capital market line. So suppose a risk-free asset exists, and suppose that this asset has expected return RF. Let M be the efficient portfolio, which is the solution to the system equation here. And the CML curve is a convex combination of the market portfolio and the risk-free assets. We have the function here. So the locus of all such combination for a greater than 0 is known as the capital market line. You can see the picture here. The CML curve is the linear and the market portfolio M is the tension between the efficient frontier and the CML. And the portfolio M is called the market portfolio for several reasons. Assume that investors have a homogeneous expectation and they only interested in maximizing the return of the portfolio from a given standard deviation. Then the optimal portfolio will lie on the CML curve. And in the case above, it further follows that the portfolio M is the only portfolio of risky assets included in optimal portfolio, and M must therefore include all risky assets, which is assets weighted in proportion to its market. That's if Mi is equal Zi divided by the sum of Zi. And next step, the testing the security market line. We illustrate the proposition from 3 to 5 in two steps. Step 1, we will regress the return of each asset on the return of the efficient portfolio for I equal 1 to 4, and we run the regression here. And this regression is often called the first pass regression. And the step 2 will now regress the patterns of the assets on their mean return and running the regression. So the perfect regression result promised us by the precision 3 to 5 that the second best regression intercept is equal to C, and the slope is equal to expected return of RW minus C. If there is a riskless asset with return C equal RF, so then the proposition 5 promises that in the second best regression, Ri equal the gamma 0 plus gamma 1 multiply the beta I, and the lambda 0 is equal to the risk-free rate, and the gamma 1 equal the expected return of RW minus the risk-free. If there is no riskless access. Then the proposition 3 states that in the second best regression, lambda gamma 0 equal the expected return R2 and gamma 1 equal expected return of RW minus the expected return R2, where yes is a portfolio whose covariance with the W is 0. So finally, if we run the two-stage regression of the type derives on any portfolio W and get a perfect regression, then the proposition for guarantees that W is in fact efficient. So next, Nhan will show you what I taught to you in the Excel.
So good morning, teacher, and good morning, class. My name is Nhan, and now I will practice on the theory that Thao has just introduced to us in Excel. For the calculating the frontier, the idea behind is because a theorem that first proved by Black 1972 that any two envelope portfolios are enough to establish the whole envelope. So now I will calculating first I will calculating the two envelope and then combine them to a single portfolio and then draft the frontier. So first, as the proposition one has say we can calculate the envelope portfolio based on this formula. So firstly, assume that the variance and covariance is already here and the expected return as well. For the computing a envelope portfolio with constant equal 0%, firstly, I will find the vector yes. You can see the formula here. Yes equal the inverse of vector variance, covariance, and the expected return minus constant. So I will use the function mmult here. And the inverse of variance, covariance, we use the function inverse. And I just use it. For the expected return, because the constant here is equal 0%, so I just use the expected return here and I enter. So after I have the vector yes, I will go to find the envelope portfolio X based on the vector yes. So I have the formula here. I just apply it for yes y divided by the sum of yes. I need to fix the sum yes first. Yes, I have here the proportion of each asset in the portfolio X. Because X is the envelope portfolio, so the sum of all the proportions of each asset have to be 1. So I sum it. Let's see whether it's equal or not. Oh yes, it's equal 1. And now I will compute the envelope portfolio with constant equal 4%. So I also first find the vector yes, apply the same function like I do before. So on here. And then I think first I need to calculate the expected return minus constant first for you to easier to to see. So expected return here equal return minus 4. Yes. And I will fix the constant here. So, and then I apply it to the function. Inverse variant covariant and the expected return minus constant. So I have the vector yes here, and I will find the envelope portfolio based on it. Is equal yes divided by sum of yes sum, and then I will fix it to calculate the rest. And the sum here also need to be 1 because it's also the envelope portfolio. Yeah. So after I have 2 envelope portfolios, I will go to find the expect return variance and the standard deviation of each portfolio. So you can see the expected return have the formula here. So I will use for the expected return, I will use the sum product function to calculate them. Envelope portfolio, and then the expected return here. So I enter it. Actually, it has another way to calculate the expected return by using the MMULT function. I will try it and let's see whether the result is equal or not. But first, I will transpose the envelope portfolio, and then I will calculate the mean here. Yeah. As you can see, the results are similar, but you will see I mainly use the sum product function to calculate the expected return because in this case, I find that it's easier for me or it's convenient to use the sum product than use the MMULT function. So I will calculate the expected return of the portfolio. Yes, Y, sum product. Envelope portfolio. And the mean, the expected return that I have. And then the variance of portfolio S, you can see the formula here. I guess that you might be quite familiar with this one. Is equal, I will use the MMULT function. Calculate this. Transpose X. And then the variance, covariance, and then the envelope portfolio X. So I enter. So I have the variance here, and the standard deviation of portfolio X equal the square root of the variance. So I have the standard deviation here, and I do similarly with the portfolio Y to calculate the variance and the standard deviation. Transpose for the portfolio Y. and then the variant, covariant, and then envelope portfolio again. So I have the variance here, and now I will take the square root of variance y. I have the standard deviation of portfolio y. So for the covariance, if you make the function, the formula of covariance, here you just need to replace the x here by the y. You will have the covariance of x and y. So I just apply the function here. Transpose for the portfolio x. And let's take the variance, covariance here, and then the envelope portfolio y. So I have the covariance of portfolio x and y, and the correlation of portfolio x and portfolio y is equal the covariance of x and y divided by the product of standard deviation of portfolio x and standard deviation of portfolio y. So I just apply this here. Yes, I have the correlation. The next step is find the single portfolio P. Here I call it P, and it is a combination of portfolio X and portfolio Y. And I assume that I just randomly give the proportion of X is 30%. And now I will calculate the expected return, variance, and standard deviation based on this formula. So I should apply it. I have A here multiplied by the expected return of x minus the proportion of portfolio y, and then multiplied by the expected return of portfolio y. So I have the expected return of portfolio P here. And I use the formula to calculate the variance and the standard deviation is equal portfolio A to the power of 2 multiplied by the because it is the standard deviation of x, but it's to the power of 2, so I just take this variance of x minus plus the proportion of y, and then the power of 2 multiplied by the variance of y plus 2 multiply proportion x multiply proportion of y, and then multiply by the covariance of x and y. So I have the variance here, and for the standard deviation, just take the square root of variance. So I have here. So to graph the frontier, I will vary the proportion of x and then get the expected return and the deviation of the portfolio P. So I will use the data table to do this task. First, I need to put the input here, sigma equal, and then return here. So, and then use it and use the data table in what-if analysis. And the input cell here is the proportion of x here. So I have the sigma and return of the portfolio P with the various x proportion of x. So now I will graph it. Select data. The S is the sigma, the standard deviation, and the Y is expected return. Yeah. And I will add some point to see in the graph. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I have the frontier here.
Okay.
So next, yes,
Just hold a second.
yes.
Can you determine the minimum variance the portfolio in this envelope? So in the last class, the previous class, we studied about the global minimum variance portfolio in the envelope, So can you show us this portfolio in your the envelope here?
I think here I don't want. I think it's somewhere here.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember the formula to identify the minimum variance portfolio? So I will give you some instruction. You can use the formula about GMVP, and the formula is the proportion of the weight matrix of GMVP equal the unit matrix on row multiply covariance matrix inverse divide by unit matrix on row multiply the covariance matrix inverse and multiply the unit matrix on column. In the page 259, you can see the formula and you calculate the minimum variance portfolio for us.
Yes. Can you give me a second?
Okay.
259.
So this is the first idea when you go to the portfolio optimization. You go directly to the GMVP, which means global minimum variance portfolio. That is the minimum variance portfolio you can identify in your envelope portfolio. So remember the first formula about the GMVP. It's very easy to remember that formula because it's just include the unit matrix and the covariance matrix. Very easy to remember. So you have the unit matrix on row multiply the covariance matrix inverse and divide by unit matrix on row multiply the covariance matrix inverse and multiply the unit matrix on columns. You can create the unit matrix because in Excel the unit matrix is not available, so you just create the unit matrix. And in this case, in this situation, we have four stops for security, so the dimension of unit matrix is a 4. So the unit matrix on row is just a 1 1 1 1 on row, and on column is a 1 1 1. Yes, that's a unit matrix on column. And you can use the transpose function to transpose the unit matrix on the columns to the unit matrix on row. And I will remind you the basic principle in matrix multiplication, which means you start with the row matrix. Remember, you always start with the row matrix, not the column matrix.
Oh, yes. Transpose. Inverse here. And then divided by the transpose of here, and then the inverse of variance covariance. And then the teacher, does it right?
Yes, you can check it. Just sum up it, and maybe it equal 1 is right.
Sum. Yeah, it's equal 1.
Okay, and you find the return and the standard deviation of this portfolio and present it in our graph.
Yes. The expected return equal more here. Does it? And then the mean here. And the standard deviation is equal the square root of variance moon here, and the variance covariance and then the transpose of here. Percent and add a little data here. For x is the standard deviation, and for y is the expected return. Hope that's right.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, it's here.
Okay. Okay. That's correct. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes,
Thank
keep on.
you. And for the finding the envelope portfolios in one step, it just combine the two steps in the first one and then have the formula here and you can find it. It's a little complicated, but it's faster, I think. Is equal mean inverse of variance and covariance, and the expected return here you just directly minus the constant, and then the sum mean inverse for the inverse variance covariance. And the mean minus constancy. Yes, I have here the envelope. You can see that it's similar with the first one I just calculate here. It's equal. And just do the same for the mean. The expected return equal the sum product of the envelope portfolio and the mean return. And the sigma, just take the square root of variance, mean verse, and no mean verse, transpose of here, and then the variance covariance here, and then the envelope portfolio. Yes, I have the same result. So for this one, I just introduce you about the we use the cell box name to first. This I don't know why it doesn't have the expected return here. We just use cell box name to make it easier and clearer for you to when you use the formula. So I just use it, and then here I will, this is the variance covariance, so I name it as var cov, and I enter. And the mean here, I should name it means. So I will calculate again the envelope portfolio by using one-step calculation. It's equal inverse. So now you can see var cove. So I have here means minus 4 and sum of mean verse the cove there, and then the mean minus the constant. Mean minus constant. Yeah, I have the similar, but you can see it's easier for you to track the formula. So just the mean, and I just do the same with earlier sum product. And mean equal square root inverse and mean transpose of the portfolio. Variance, covariance, and then the portfolio. I have here. So for the three node of optimization procedure, first is the on constancy lead to the same envelope. So let's see how it can be stay like that. So for the portfolio, I will calculate again the portfolio envelope portfolio by using one step calculation. Inverse variance covariance means no, it's hard to minus constant sum inverse and then mean. And then I drag it over. Just here. And I have the proportion of each asset in each portfolio, so I can calculate the portfolio means and standard deviation as well. Sum product and the mean. Let's see whether I drag it over is okay. D2. Yes. No. To make sure, I will do it again. And the portfolio is equals then square root of the variance moon transpose of x, and then variance covariance and then the portfolio S. I will break it over. And then you can see that because if yes is also an envelope portfolio, so it have to satisfy this formula as in the proposition 2 has mentioned. So now I will first, because portfolio yes is linear proportion of portfolio X and portfolio Y. So I will find, firstly, I will find the A here, and then I will do manually to find the proportion of each asset in the portfolio, yes, and then compare it with the first one I have just calculated. So for the proportion here, I just change a little bit, and I find the A here is called yes minus y divided by x minus y. So I just apply this to find the A. Yes minus y, yes, yes minus y, and then x minus y. No, it's not the same. X minus y, yes minus y. Yes, yes minus y. C x minus y. Let's just do it, and if it's wrong, we will check it later. So I will apply this. A multiplied by the x plus 1 minus a multiplied by the y. Oh, it's not similar. I think something wrong here. Let's see. Inverse mean deny minus sim inverse. It's my bad. I will calculate it again. I have something wrong here. I forget to minus the constant. So the result is a little bit wrong. But after I fixed it, no. Deny. Summoning verb means deny is correct. Deny inverse 9. C.
So you need to lock to fix the constant.
Yes, I forgot. Thank you very much, teacher. I forget to fix the constant here. Yeah, it's the same now. You can see. So is it right to say that all constant C lead to the same envelope? So here the note 2 is some C's can lead to inefficient portfolios. So now I have two constant. It is 11% and 4%. And for save time, I just set up the formula here. It's just similar to earlier that I just did. So here I will delete it, and then you can see. And I have the portfolio X with a constant 11. And then I have the portfolio Y with the constant 4. So I have here. So now I continue to calculate the mean and the standard deviation just with the formula that I just did before. So I should set up here for time being. So I have the sum product here. I have standard deviation. And I have here and covariance of 2 I have here. So I calculate the single portfolio calculation. So the proportion is I just give randomly like before. I give it 60%, and I calculate it by proportion of S multiplied by the mean and the proportion of Y multiplied with its mean. So I have here. And the sigma, I just take the square root of the variance, and you can see the formula here. And now I will vary the proportion of X and then find the sigma, the standard deviation, and the mean of the portfolio P. So I just put here the P and the mean here. And again, using the data table that will help you complete this task. So data, what's if, data table, column input cell, the 60% here. So this is the data table to determine the frontier, and now I will graph it to make it easier to watch, to see. Select the data, add series here. And I will add the portfolio X to see whether it's efficient or not. So here. Okay. So you can see it is the portfolio X, and you can see it's sit here, so it's not efficient. If it's efficient, it have to be here. Yes, that's why we have the note 2. And for the note 3, it is if constant equal risk-free rate, the optimizing portfolio is efficient, then the envelope portfolio is optimal. So here, I will calculate first the envelope portfolio with constant 4, and I just did it. I forgot to delete it, so I did it and do it again. So to save time, I will calculate it in one step. I forgot the calculate the vector. Yes. Inverse. The variance, covariance, and the expected return minus the constant. Sum. No, it's not sum product. It's sum, just sum. Inverse, variant, covariant, and the expected return minus. And absolutely, the sum of it have to be equal 1. So, like I said before, to graph the frontier, we have to have 2 envelope portfolio. So here I just prepared the portfolio Y with a constant 0 to help us to draw the frontier, the envelope. So I just do, no. Only I have to calculate it. The envelope portfolio. I just use the same formula like before. So, and then I have the covariant variance. And for the expected return of x, I just use the function sum product. And for the standard deviation, I take the square root of variance. So here I give the proportion of y is 30%, and then I calculate the expected return of the portfolio. I have here, and the standard deviation of the portfolio, and just use the data table to find the standard deviation and the expected return of the portfolio P with the various proportion of y. So here, data table, and then data table, and I column input cell, I type it. Yes, I have here, and then I graph it, and you can see the portfolio X on the frontier. Selected. And then I add the portfolio X here to see. Okay. So you can see the portfolio X here. So,
but sorry, just
yes.
back the page 241. In this case, you use C equal 4%.
Yes.
And how you can draw the tendency from the C 4% to the envelope curve, to the frontier curve?
Actually, I haven't practiced it yet. Let me see. Or the
because look at the y-axis. Y-axis, you can see the 4% is just below the number.
Yes.
Here. If we have a 6.5%, and if it's too low, how we can draw the tendency to the efficient curve here? I wonder that question. So it's not clear in this picture. because the constant is 4%. And remember the proposition, you draw the tendency from the constant to the envelope curve or the frontier curve, and you identify the portfolio, the efficient portfolio or the envelope portfolio. Okay, just move it. But I have a little question here for you. In the note 2, so do you know why some values of C locate non-efficient envelope portfolio? You just did it. Yes, in this graph, and you see we have in this case we use C is 11%, and we have the portfolio, the red dot. That is our envelope portfolio, not efficient portfolio. So do you know why?
Let me think a second.
Okay, no problem.
So I think that because here I combine two envelope portfolio to draw the efficient frontier, but it doesn't mean that on the envelope portfolio I find is the efficient frontier. What is the efficient portfolio? So maybe it has some point here to to illustrate the efficient portfolio because it has the same return, it has the same standard deviation, but it has the higher return.
Yes. So yes, this is the same standard deviation, and in the optimization process here, we optimize the standard deviation, and you can see we from the 11% in the y-axis, we draw the line, the tendency to the envelope curve, and we can draw two line here. So the optimization just choose the first line. Yes, the first line, and the first line is the closest line, the closest tendency to our envelope, to the envelope. And the second is our solution here, but in the optimization process we don't have the second line. So you can just choose the 11% in the y-axis and draw the tendency to the curve, and we have a two tendency. The first tendency is the downward slope, and the second is the upward slope. And you can see in this case the optimization just give us the solution is a downward slope, and the portfolio, such as the red dot here, is the envelope portfolio, not the efficient portfolio. So it's all about the optimization process. So you need to be careful when you select the constant, because some constant will give you the portfolio, the envelope portfolio. Some content will give you the efficient portfolio, and what we need to identify is an efficient portfolio. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, teacher. But teacher, I have a question. So can we do we have any trick to find the constant that makes sure that we have the efficient portfolio?
Okay, so the trick is quite easy when you so when you identify the curve and you identify the minimum variance, global minimum variance portfolio. So just use the less return than the minimum variance portfolio, a little bit less return. So in this case, we can see the GMVP here, the global minimum variance portfolio here is has the return at maybe roughly 8% or 7% or 7%. So just use the constant a little bit less than the return of the GMVP, and you can find out the efficient portfolio.
Yes, I got it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So now I will illustrate the proposition 3 and 5. So firstly, I will calculate the mean of all the asset average. And then drag it over. And for the variance and covariance matrix here, I will use the formula here that I think that you know about it, the last lesson. Transpose of here. No. Wait a minute. I need to transpose minus C minus yeah, I have the variance and covariance here. And then I will calculate the efficient portfolio W with the constant 1.5%. Just apply the calculate envelope portfolio in one step. Mean verse here. And the expect because this is a row, so I will transpose it. Minus the constant or sum inverse and transpose. I have the proportion of each asset in the portfolio W. So when I have the proportion, I will find the return of the efficient portfolio W in each day. So I just use the moon function. I have the here and here. Because it is, I will fix it to no, wait, what's wrong? So, no, I don't need to transpose this. and drag it over, and let's sum it. Sum. Oh, no, not sum, average. Wait. Let's see. Let's see. And then I will regress each asset returns on those of the efficient portfolio. So for the alpha, I will use the intercept asset return on those asset return and transpose of this. No. Asset return. Each asset return, not the mean return. Yeah. Because here it is constant, it's not changed. So we'll fix it and then drag it over. And for the beta, I will use the slope. Do the same here. And then the efficient portfolio and fit this first. And drag it over. Is R square, just use the function R square and do the same. No. I have to fix it. And then I will regress the asset mean returns on the betas equal intercept the mean return here and the beta here, the beta. I have the intercept, and then the slope. I also use the function slope, and then the mean return, and then the beta. R square, the means, and the beta. And then I will compare to the intercept with the constancy and the slope with the expected return of the portfolio minus the constant. So I will use the function if. So if intercept equal constant, let's say yes. And if no, let's say no. Okay. Yes. And let's see the slope. If slope equal is expected return of portfolio minus C constant. Let's say if it's yes, if it's right, and say no if it's wrong. No, it's not. I think something wrong here. It's supposed to be the same. The average, let's see, average maybe something wrong here. Equal matrix teacher, can you see anything wrong here? I think
you have the second second pass regression with R square 100%. I think that's right.
yes.
100%. But the slope and intercept is a different. Yes, different. So you can check those access. You can check those access. Those access value is correct or not. Whether it's correct or not. Access value.
Asset value.
Yes. Okay. The return of those access.
The return, I use the average function.
Okay.
I think something wrong here, teacher.
Efficient portfolio W. How about your asset proportion? Asset weight.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different.
It's different.
Yes.
Let me check again. Miniverse of this, right? Transpose of means minus here. This maneuver. I again forgot minus the constant.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same now. I think so.
Okay. If you guys combine so many formula in the one cell, remember check carefully about on the formula because it's just one little error, one little mistake. You can change on the value of your cell.
Yes.
So if you take the exam, if you take the midterm test, I think you just do it step by step. You don't need to combine all the formula in the one cell. Okay.
Yes. But teacher, may I have a question?
Okay.
I think that the intercept here must be equal C, but when I set up the formula and then enter it, it appears to be no.
The intercept.
And I also read the book, and they choose another cells like here or here to compare, not the right intercept and the C the two here. I don't know why.
Our constant here is 0.5%.
Yes, but
And the intercept here is 0.0123. The intercept. So the intercept is a B37 0.5%.
Yes. The constant here and the step here is, we can see it's all equal 1.5%, but when you use the if function, it's not the same anymore.
Why the function if, the condition if b36 equal b27, b20. So I think there's a wrong components here in the if condition, in the if function. The b21, not b20. So you have a c40 equal to c22, c40, okay, and c22. What your c22?
22 is the constant here.
Okay, so why is no?
Yeah,
It's
I
must be
also
yes.
know. Yes. I wonder why a long time, but I don't know how to fix it.
Can you click? Can you show us the if function
Yes.
in the cell C46? Yes,
Let's see.
C40 equals C20, and so the the logic here is if C40 equals C22, and that is a yes, and if the difference is a no, that's correct.
Yes. I think one possibility here is when we calculate the intercept, we use the number here is might be not rounded like the constant.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
that's right. So we can see this might be the decimal numbers that we can you just show us the C40 decimal number, more decimal number, C40.
C40. Oh, let me check. It's too small.
Yes, sometimes it's too small, but it's
Yeah.
not exactly the same. Not exactly
Yes.
the same. So maybe. So if you allow it, and it's the answer is a yes. Okay, it's not
Yes.
no problem.
Yes. So it might be my presentation. If you don't have any question, so we will move to another interesting part about the efficient portfolio with and without the short shell by be presented by Bảo Châu.